Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare.
Taurus rising, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Tessa and you are watching your June 2021 astrology and tarot update. Okay, just a very short gist about what we're going to do here. I pull up your natal chart based on your rising sign, so definitely make sure that you're a Taurus rising, and we look at the current astrology. Okay, so it's based off of today's date, what is currently going on in the sky. There's a lot of things going on for June. Gonna ignore that. There's actually a lot of things going on in June. We have like a bunch of retrogrades. Tomorrow we're gonna have a super full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. June 10th we're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. So there's just like a lot going on. But basically the way I'm gonna do this is we're gonna pull some oracle cards from the AstroSoul Deck, which is all astrology, and we're gonna see what specific energies we need to focus in on, match it up with the natal chart, and we're going to go from there as far as what area of your life you really need to be looking at, or, you know, I'll be able to tell you what area of your life is kind of like, you know, is kind of unfolding in a certain way, okay, and maybe what you can do about it, all right? And then we're also going to be using the Creativity Oracle deck, which I have not used yet on this channel, but it's a very fun deck. I love it. And then the Mystic Mondays Tarot, which I haven't used in a while. So I'm really excited to be using some different decks for this month. I also do personal tarot readings. So if you're interested in that, all my contact info is down below. Just email me. If you're interested in a personal reading, I do birth chart analysis, which is a write-up, so I can do that for you as well. It just gets a lot more specific in regards to your own personal birth chart, your own story, your own blueprint. I offer spiritual guidance. If you live in Chicago, I will do in-person tarot readings for you, okay? So definitely email me if you live in Chicago and if you're interested in a tarot reading in person, okay? So also, if you really like my channel, and if you want to help me out, I have a donation link down below. You know, like even just like $2 a month, it would be like so helpful. Of course, you don't have to, but it would be awesome. I did have to get a part-time job because, you know, we got to pay our bills. I'm glad that things are slowly kind of like opening back up in the world, sort of. Not really. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the gist of what I want to say. The decks are pre-shuffled, but I am going to shuffle them again just so we can get that specific message in. Yeah, that's pretty much it. My background is going to change. I know I have this like huge empty, you know, white wall over here, but I'm always doing shit around my house. So like my background is probably going to change a lot, to be completely honest. And that is pretty much all I want to say. Help me get to 100 subscribers too, okay? I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary since I started this channel for June. So I started this channel June 2020, and now we're about to hit June 2021. And I'm trying to get at least 8 more subscribers by the time I upload this series of videos, so these 12 videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do that. Yeah, but let's get into your reading. Okay, so AstroSoul Deck, what are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? And I do like to shuffle all 3 decks first before I start pulling the cards. It's a nice, smoother read. What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? What are the energies Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? are the energies Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? These metallic cards are slinky, so they're a little harder to manage. What are the energies that Taurus needs to focus on for June 2021? Okay. All right, we're going to start with the AstroSoul deck, and we're starting with the Waxing Crescent. I really love it when I pull moon phase cards because it gives a specific date. So I'm going to pull out my handy dandy moon phase app just so we can get a specific date on when we're going to have a waxing crescent moon. Okay. Okay, so the waxing crescent moon is going to start June 11th, okay? So whenever I pull a moon phase card, this is where I'm able to offer you a specific date. So the waxing crescent, it says inspiration, creativity, growth, accomplishments, learning. So on June 10th, we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. This new moon is going to be very significant for you, okay? So the waxing crescent is just after the new moon. So just as the new moon starts to kind of like create its little crescent halo again, that is when, you know, because new moons represent new beginnings and new intentions, new creative ideas. So June 11th is really going to be important as like a jumping off point for whatever creative idea or whatever, if you have something kind of like going on around that time, inspiration, creativity, growth, accomplishments, learning, it's really going to like kick in and come into full effect on June 11th, okay? And it's going to be kind of like a surge of energy to want to do something, okay? So there's going to be like a surge of energy to want to do something. And it's going to be in Cancer. So the waxing crescent is going to last a couple of days. So between like June 11th to like June 15th, okay? All right, so let's go back. So this is going to be in Cancer. Let's take a look where you have Cancer on your chart. Okay, so you have Cancer in your third house. Okay, so I don't know, like maybe you're going to get together with some friends. There's going to be like some kind of event or some kind of like coming together, perhaps with friends or siblings. Okay, like a coming together with friends or siblings, and it's just gonna feel like invigorating. Okay, this because Gemini season is about curiosity. It's about kind of expand. It's about community. It's about curiosity. It's about community. It's about being informed. It's about like local travel. Okay, so maybe there's gonna be an event or like getting together with friends. Maybe like going out. But there's going to be like a very dynamic, very like feel good kind of energy around this time of the month, right after the solar eclipse. Okay, so like between June 11th to June 15th, there's just going to be like some really good energy. So even if you don't have anything planned for that week, it could be a really like if you are thinking about maybe planning some kind of get together with your friends, this could be a really good time to do that between June 11th and June 15th, okay, when the moon is in Cancer, okay? It'll feel like very like at home. You're going to feel very at home with them, and it's just going to create like a real nice, it's going to create like a really nice kind of an environment and a nice feeling, okay? Okay, and then we have the aspect opposition. Complement, duality, dependence, differentiation, objectivity, oscillation, and interaction. I find this so interesting because the aspect of opposition is when there's a planet on completely opposite spectrums of the natal chart. And the most prevalent or the most relevant of these of the planets and these aspects is between the sun and the moon. Okay? And tomorrow we're having the super full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So when it's a lunar eclipse, the sun and the moon are opposite the earth, right? Sun is on the one side and it kind of like illuminates the moon. It kind of like hugs the earth and it illuminates the moon. The solar eclipse is when the moon is in between the earth and the sun. Okay, I hope everything is making sense so far. So the waxing crescent is coming after the solar eclipse, and then tomorrow we have a lunar eclipse. So that is the most significant opposition that will be occurring in June, okay? So we really take a look when we're dealing with aspects from the AstroSoul Oracle deck, we're going to be dealing with the most significant aspect. And with the opposition card coming out, the most significant aspect is going to be the lunar eclipse, which is tomorrow. Okay, so complement, duality, dependence, differentiation, objectivity, oscillation, interaction. So what is this lunar eclipse? So this lunar eclipse is also going to be very significant because it's going to really it kind of forces you to take a look at some like deeper things that are like kind of like stuck in you and holding you back so that you can kind of like release it, like bring it to light and then let it go. Bring it to light and let it go. Lunar eclipses are very, very powerful for transformation, okay? For being able to kind of like transform old energy into new energy. So let me take a look. So you have the sun in your second house of values and possessions and beauty. And the moon is going to be in the 8th house, which is a Scorpio house of transformation. Sex, death, rebirth. Okay. So maybe something like in your financial realm, something within the realm of like how you handle your finances, your possessions, your values is going to undergo some transformative process. I want to see what other oppositions we have here. So we also have Pluto opposing Mars. So it's kind of like, so opposition also does have to do with a kind of dependence, okay? It's kind of like this. Okay, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. Duality. It creates an interesting dynamic for balance. But you have to be able to see it objectively for it to like feel like it's balanced. Because if you are within the energy without really understanding what it means, it can feel like there's a tug of war going on here. It can feel like you have to make a decision. It could feel like, you know, you're being pulled energetically in two different directions. And then you have to kind of figure out, like, like at some point you kind of have to be like, okay, this is ridiculous. And really kind of be able to see how those two energies are interacting with each other and go, all right, how can this work? You know, I don't know if that's making sense. I really, really hope that's making sense, but that's kind of like what the opposition is. So with the lunar eclipse, it's like, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to change my value system? How are we going to transform what I've been doing all this time into something else? How am I going to make, like, you really have to kind of start looking at things, especially with that Gemini energy really wants you to use your brain. They really want you to use your mind and to be like, okay, really look at the numbers, look at like I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, let's say, I don't know, you have a new monthly payment on something. I don't know, like maybe you just decided to buy a car, or, you know, and you have your subscription to Netflix, you have your, those monthly things add up. So it's like, maybe you need to just kind of like step back and really look at everything objectively and be like, okay, let's change something here. Let's make this work in a way that feels right. Okay, so it's like something like that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So that's something that is kind of going to be like, so for you to be able to kind of deal with those energies, instead of feeling like you're being pulled, like, oh, now you have to pay this bill, now you have to pay this bill, now you have to pay this bill. Maybe there's some kind of system you can create that will just like help you, better. Okay, so we have Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is an asteroid. It was discovered in the early 1800s. These specific asteroids, there's 4 of them. It's Pallas Athena, Ceres, Juno, and Vesta. And Pallas Athena is the Greek goddess Athena, born from Zeus's head, full of wisdom, power, glory. She is known as the goddess of war, but more importantly, the goddess of wisdom, arts and crafts, and just like teaching her people how to harvest, teaching her people how to create tools, teaching her people how to do things for their advancement, to better their lives. She is wise, she is fierce, she is a warrior, and she has a spear in her hand. Inner wisdom. This is like inner, like this deep, like warrior, like wisdom kind of side of you, okay? Everybody has a Pallas Athena placement in their personal natal chart. So if you want me to do a natal chart reading, and I can see exactly where you have Pallas Athena in your chart. However, currently in astrology, Pallas Athena is in Pisces, okay? And this is in your 11th house, okay? So with Pallas Athena and Pisces, like Pisces is just all about like creativity and unconditional love, and just like wanting to just kind of like pour their creativity onto the network around them. Okay, so you specifically, Pallas Athena, the current Pallas Athena is in your 11th house, and the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. The 11th house is all about networking, the social dynamics, the acquaintances. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like this really dynamic part of you that I think just like attracts different kinds of people into your world, into your life. Like there's some kind of creative energy that you exude, Taurus, that really just kind of draws people to you, okay? There's an energy that really draws people to you. There's some kind of like inner warrior, that earth warrior kind of like side to you that's very dynamic, and like people kind of like want to be a part of that. I think you also kind of enjoy extending that part of you out to different kinds of people. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm really kind of feeling that kind of energy. It's like, I don't know, like really wanting to kind of like extend your, your skills and your wisdom like out into the world, and like show people kind of like the glory of who you are. Very cool. So that's what I'm getting from that Pallas Athena card. Free associate. So now we're going to get into the creativity oracle. I have free associate. This is interesting. Automatically, I got like wanting to inspire multiple people. Allow the first thing that comes into your mind without self-censorship to bestow a vision upon you. Oh my God, I love that. I got like little chills. But allow the first thing that comes into your mind without self-censorship to bestow a vision upon you. Okay, so that's self-explanatory. I don't even really want to add to that because I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like plant those seeds into your head. I feel like free association is exactly that. It's just like, don't judge yourself. Just like, what is your, you know, what are the first things that are coming to your head? I feel like this is very connected also to this Pallas Athena kind of energy, this kind of warrior energy that inspires other people. And it could be also the 11th house is also connected to the internet, social media. So maybe something through social media, inspiration. The first thing that comes into your mind without censorship to bestow a vision upon you. Maybe there's something you want to say. Maybe there's something creative or some kind of type of expression without censorship that you kind of want to bestow upon the world, you know, and it can inspire people. So there's something, so this is kind of like some really interesting advice over here, and I like it. Okay, for the next card, we have timing. If you are in the creative flow, you feel everything flowing together in divine order. So I'm really feeling like the spirit realm is just like really pushing you into this creative energy. There's some kind of like very, very like, there's like this creative energy that is just running freely through you right now, okay? And for Gemini season, for June of 2021, it's really wanting to come out and shine its light on friends, on like your social circles, okay? And yeah, if you are in the creative flow, you feel everything flowing together in divine order. So you don't even really think about time anymore. It's just natural. It's just, you're already doing it. You're already creating what you want to create. Time, and then like I'm feeling it almost as really just kind of getting lost in this creative energy, and then before you know it, something is just going to happen in your favor, and you're not even really going to realize it or ask for it, and it's just going to happen, and it's going to be magical. Okay, so with that free association, it's really just kind of like being free to self-express, being free to create without censoring yourself is just going to like put you exactly where you need to be, and time is going to just be on your side automatically. Okay, and the lunar eclipse is a really good time to start doing that too. Generosity, you can afford to be generous with the gift of your time and attention. So this is another thing that I feel like this has a lot to do with your social circle. I'm going to just say that right off the bat. This has a lot to do with your social circle. It has a lot to do with your environment, how you interact with your environment. The way that you like giving yourself generously, your spiritual, just like creative nature to your environment and your social circle is going to produce some kind of like really magical results. It's going to produce some really magical results, okay? I'm telling you. And then in the middle of June, there's going to be like a wonderful coming together of different energies. Okay, so let's pull our 3 tarot cards. Let's see how this story unfolds. We have the 2 of Wands, which is Mars and Aries, which is taking that step, taking that initial step. 4 of Pentacles, the Sun in Capricorn, holding on to something, holding back. Holding back a little bit. And then we have the Death card, Scorpio card. What happened? What's going on here? So you have Mars in Aries, you have Mars in the 3rd house, Aries in the 12th. Okay, so taking action. Okay, taking action creatively. Okay. Okay, so this is definitely kind of like spiritually guided. And then we have Capricorn in your 9th house of travel. Okay. Holding on to those coins a little bit there. Being a little more cautious with how you spend your money. This could have to do with that opposition that shows up over here. And then we have Scorpio is currently, this moon is currently in Scorpio. Okay, so okay, so we're definitely taking some kind of action here in regards to your creative vision. That is definitely at play over here. Some kind of action will be taken in regards to your creative vision. You're gonna need to be a little bit careful because remember about that financial thing I was telling you about. You need to take care of some kind of, you need to like organize. I feel like you need to like organize your financial situation a little bit better, and until you just kind of have things laid out and you kind of figure out a plan, you know, then you might feel a little bit more inclined to be open on the financial side. And then with the Death card showing up over here, this is really interesting. You can afford to be generous with it. Okay. So if you are currently in a relationship, maybe if you're seeing someone, because like your energy is very, very much focused on friends and like your network right now. So this Death card, I feel, is showing up more in regards to if any of you are in a personal relationship or an intimate relationship. This part of your life could kind of like start to like suffer a little bit. Okay. It just kind of depends. So this is just kind of like me, like, I guess you can say it's kind of like a warning, you know, so it really just kind of depends. You might have to really decide what's important to you and where you really want to put your attention. Okay. Because there is an energy of something like ending. Okay. And it could be in regards to like an intimate relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's like over. Okay. This is just for June. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you know, but you could find yourself, you can find that you are needing to kind of face a certain situation, because it feels like it's ending, or it's like kind of like slipping away. Okay, so if you are, I feel like this is more for those of you who are involved in a relationship of some sort, or a partnership of some sort. Okay, this can also be in regards to like a work partnership, because maybe you are venturing off into new territory. You could be feeling very inspired to create a new vision. So when you are doing something new, you know, maybe other people get jealous, or like maybe other people that you've been involved with are kind of like, you know, like that part of your life kind of, like whenever you start doing something new, there's another part of your life that kind of starts to like die a little bit. That's just a normal part of life. Okay. So something is coming to an end here. It could be in regards to a intimate relationship or some kind of, or a partnership of some kind. Okay. Yeah, so this is your reading, Taurus rising. I really, really hope this helped. Let me know if you want to come back next month and let me know. That's cool too. Otherwise, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.